Many of today's health problems result from a combination of environmental and self-imposed factors. Unhealthy eating habits, inactivity, pollution, increased stress, inadequate medical or dental care, poverty, violence, and substance abuse, such as alcohol and drugs, continue to challenge the quality of children's health. They also pose a threat to children's academic success and to their potential to become a healthy and productive adult. After studying this chapter, you should be able to explain why it is important to include families in children's learning experiences. Discuss the role of teacher in service training as it relates to children's health and safety education. Identify and describe the 4 basic elements of instructional design. Develop health and safety activity plans based on the format outlined in this chapter. The early years are an important time when lifelong health behaviors, attitudes, and values are being formed. It is also a time when children are open and receptive to new ideas, changes, and suggestions. For these reasons, it is important to design developmentally appropriate learning experiences that provide children and their families with sound information that promotes a healthy lifestyle. This includes improving their understanding of factors that influence health outcomes, encouraging positive decision-making, and motivating children and adults to assume an active role in achieving personal well-being. Families are children's first and most important teachers. They shape children's early attitudes and health and safety practices through an ongoing combination of direct instruction, incidental learning, and modeling of adult behaviors, according to Lawson and Flock, 2009. Daily activities often become important teachable moments. For example, a parent may discuss the benefits of eating fruits and vegetables while the child washes the broccoli for tonight's dinner or helps to plant tomatoes in a vegetable garden. Successful health and safety education programs are built on a strong foundation of family involvement. When teachers collaborate with children's families, they are able to discover their goals and priorities, and thus design instruction that is responsive to children's needs. There are many resourceful ways that teachers can involve families in children's health and safety education, including inviting them to prepare and contribute to newsletters, accompany children on field trips, share special talents, skills, or cultural traditions, serve as a guest speaker, help with class projects, demonstrations, films, discussions, assist with health assessment, and policy development. Family involvement also provides unique opportunities for sharing health information and improving the likelihood that learning experiences will be reinforced in the child's home. It also reduces the potential frustration that children may sense if they receive information at school that is inconsistent with family values and practices. Family members may also benefit indirectly by learning how to make positive changes in their own health practices. Additional advantages of family involvement include better understanding of children's developmental needs, improved parental esteem, increase ability to foster and reinforce children's learning, enhance parenting skills, improve communication between home and school. Combined resources and efforts of families, children, and teachers can bring about meaningful improvements in health and safety behaviors for everyone. The role of teacher in service in health and safety education. In service education that is ongoing and focused on enriching teachers' knowledge and skills is a characteristic feature of high-quality programs. Learning experiences that address health and safety issues are essential in children's educational programs. Yet most teachers have had only limited pre-service training in health education and may not be adequately prepared to assume this responsibility. However, teachers can acquire valuable information about developmentally appropriate content and effective instructional techniques for teaching health and safety through continued in-service opportunities. It can be delivered in a number of ways, such as giving teachers access to professional journals or providing financial incentives so they can attend educational conferences. Arrangements can also be made for guest speakers to present training sessions on a variety of important topics such as schools, early childhood programs and the law, emergency preparedness, identifying child abuse, advances in health screening, review of sanitation procedures, stress and anger management, working with diverse families, infectious disease updates, current information on specific health problems, review of first aid techniques and CPR training, health promotion practices including children's mental health, nutrition education, cultural awareness and sensitivity, and violence and bullying prevention. It is important that all teaching and support staff be included in in-service training opportunities. However, care must be taken to ensure that information and materials are meaningful to all the participants whose educational backgrounds and professional roles may differ. Opportunities to promote children's health awareness and to bring about desired behavioral changes present exciting challenges for teachers. To successfully achieve this goal, teachers must create learning experiences that systematically build children's knowledge base and health-promoting skills. Effective instructional design requires that 4 basic elements be addressed: topic selection, behavioral objectives, content presentation, and evaluation. First is the topic selection. The ability to select and prepare meaningful learning activities requires an understanding of children's developmental needs. Thoughtful planning helps to ensure that topics and learning activities will attract and hold children's attention. When teachers plan health and safety learning experiences that are meaningful and integrated across the entire curriculum, for example, dramatic play, language arts, science, math, outdoor play, children's understanding, retention, and motivation are significantly improved. There are many developmentally appropriate health and safety concepts that can be introduced throughout the early curriculum. For example, toddlers enjoy learning about body parts, growth and development, nutritious food, social skills and positive interaction or getting along with others, the 5 senses, friendship, personal care skills such as brushing teeth, hand washing, bathing, toilet routines, and dressing. Developing self-esteem and positive self-concepts, cooperation, exercise or movement routines, and safe behaviors. Second is behavioral objectives. Objectives describe the desired changes in an individual's knowledge, behaviors, attitudes, and/or values that can be observed and measured upon completion of the learning experience. The ultimate goal of health and safety education is the development and maintenance of positive knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors. Learning is demonstrated when children are able to make sound decisions and carry out health and safety practices that preserve or improve their present state of health. Objectives serve several purposes: as a guide in the selection of content material, as a means for identifying precise changes in learner knowledge or behavior, as an aid in the selection of appropriate learning experiences, and as an evaluation or measurement tool. To be useful, objectives must be written in terms that are clear and meaningful. For example, the child will select appropriate clothing to wear on a rainy day. The key word in this objective is select. It is a specific behavioral change that can be evaluated and measured. In contrast, the statement, "the child will know how to dress for the weather," is vague and cannot be accurately determined. Examples of precise and measurable terms include to, draw, list, discuss, explain, select, write, recognize, describe, identify, answer, demonstrate, match, and compare. Measurable objectives are more difficult to develop for learning experiences that involve values, feelings, and/or attitudes. Behavioral changes associated with this type of learning may not be immediately observable. Rather, it must be assumed that at some later point, children's behavior will reflect what they have previously learned. Next is the content presentation. When deciding on a method, teachers should consider presenting only a few simple concepts during each session, limiting presentation to a maximum of 5 to 10 minutes for toddlers, 10 to 15 minutes for preschoolers, and 15 to 25 minutes for school-age children. Tailoring content presentation to address children's diverse needs, abilities, and interest levels, taking into account class size, children ages, the nature of content to be presented, and the available resources. Emphasizing the positive aspects of concepts, avoid confusing combinations of do's and don'ts, good and bad comparisons. Creating learning experiences that involve children in hands-on activities with real-life materials. Explaining ideas in terms that are simple and familiar to children. Building in repetition to reinforce children's understanding and retention. Providing encouragement and positive reinforcement to acknowledge children's accomplishments. A variety of effective instructional methods can be used to present health and safety content, including group discussion, media, demonstrations, experiments, and role play. Teacher-made displays such as posters, bulletin boards, booklets, and flannel boards. Art activities, printed resource material, puppet shows, books and stories, guest speakers, and personal examples. Next is the evaluation. Effective instructional design also requires that an evaluation be conducted throughout the development and presentation stages. Evaluation provides feedback concerning the quality of instruction and reveals whether or not students have learned what a teacher initially set out to teach. The following criteria may be used for the evaluation process. Do the objectives identify important areas where learning should occur? Are the objectives clearly stated, realistic, and measurable? Were children able to achieve the desired outcomes? Was the instructional method effective? Were children interested and engaged in the learning experiences? And how could the lesson be improved? Evaluation must not be viewed as self-critical process, even if the findings suggest that the intended learner outcomes were not achieved. Rather, the evaluation process helps to identify weaknesses in content, activity design, and/or presentation that teachers can use to improve future instruction. A teacher's day can be filled with many unexpected events. Activity plans encourage advanced planning and organization. Time spent on advanced planning enables a teacher to be better organized, prepared, and be able to focus on presenting the learning activity. Example of activity plan will follow. A written format for activity plan is often as individualized as our teachers. However, activity plans for health and safety instruction should include several basic features. Subject title or concept to be presented, specific objectives, materials list, evaluation and suggestion for things to remember in planning. Activity plans should contain enough information so they can be used by anyone, including a substitute teacher, classroom aide, or a volunteer. Objectives should clearly indicate what children are expected to learn so that the activities can be modified to meet the needs of a particular group. A description of materials, how they are to be used, and necessary safety precautions should also be addressed. Here's the sample activity plan for toothbrushing. Concept: teeth should be brushed after meals and snacks to stay white and healthy. Objectives: children can state appropriate times when teeth should be brushed. Children can demonstrate proper toothbrushing technique. And children can describe one alternate method for cleaning teeth after eating. Materials: 1 white egg carton per child, cardboard, pink construction paper, several old toothbrushes, cloth, toothpaste, and toothbrush. Learning activities. A. Invite a dentist or dental hygienist to demonstrate proper toothbrushing to the children. Ask the speaker to discuss how often to brush, when to brush, how to brush, alternate ways of cleaning teeth after eating, what type of toothpaste to use, and correct care of toothbrush. This may also be an ideal opportunity to invite families to visit so they can reinforce toothbrushing skills at home. Letter B. Help children construct a set of model teeth from egg cartons. Cut an oval approximately 14 inches in length from lightweight cardboard. Crease oval gently along the center. Cut the bottom portion of an egg carton lengthwise into 2 strips. Staple egg carton teeth along the small ends of the oval. Glue pink construction paper along the edges where teeth are fastened to form gums. Also cover the backside of the oval with the pink construction paper. Use a greased pencil to mark areas of flake on the teeth. Cover the head of an old toothbrush with cloth and fasten. With the toothbrush, have children demonstrate correct toothbrushing technique to remove areas of flake. Grease pencil markings. Here's the sample instructional materials created by Eced 2.1. Letter C. Obtain pamphlets about children's dental health from your local dental health association, or simply download information from reliable dental websites. Prepare a parent newsletter article reinforcing the concept children have been learning. Letter D. Send a note home to families and request that children bring a clean toothbrush to school. Local dentists and dental association may be willing to donate brushes. Practice step-by-step toothbrushing with small groups of children. Letter E. Older children will enjoy designing posters or bulletin board displays that reinforce proper dental hygiene. Letter F. Read and discuss with children several of the following rules. Here's the sample topic for activity plans. Germs and illness prevention, dressing appropriately for the weather, dental health, understanding feelings, safety in cars, pedestrian safety, poisonous substances, fire safety. For your reflective thoughts, historically, it was considered a family's right and responsibility to teach children values and attitudes associated with health and safety. Teachers were expected to focus their efforts on academic instruction. Answer the following question. Is this assumption true today? What factors may be contributing to this change? How does a teacher determine what values and attitudes are important to teach children? What steps can a teacher take to be sure that learning experiences are bias-free? What can teachers do to make sure these experiences respect a family's cultural values? Another one, planning effective learning experiences for children requires time and effort. The internet now offers easy access to a wealth of information, particularly in the areas of health, safety, and nutrition. Should all of this information be trusted? What criteria can you use to evaluate the accuracy of information found on websites? What additional steps can you take to ensure that material you use for developing learning experiences is reliable?